All right, let's have some fun. We know now that Podia is getting rid of their free plan, and I have a website on the free plan. So I've got like 8 or 9 days, I think, left to get it moved over. So guess what? We're going to move over the site that I've got set up on Podia and reset it up on System using System.io's free plan, which is a super robust and probably almost as good. It may even be better than Podia's next tier up paid plan. So um, this is a no-brainer making this move. So let's gonna jump over to the computer here and let's start having some fun here. So what we've got here, Podia, their free plan, as you can tell here, doesn't even allow me to use my domain name. I have to use Podia's domain name. So that will change. We'll be able to actually connect the membershipanswerman.com directly to our System.io website. But this is the website. We really don't need to be logged into Podia to do anything per se, really. But I went ahead and opened it up over here just in case. We want to make sure that we have our logos ready to go and our assets as far as our pictures and things like that. So we went and did that before the video, got all organized, right? We only have a handful of sections here. This was before I started using Donald Miller's kind of template to break down all of the different sections of your website, the hero section, the negative stakes sections, the value proposition section, and which is actually kind of good for this video because we've just got a handful of sections here that we're going to add and move over to System.io. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. We've got just a very simple login here, or a very simple header here, and then a kind of a hero image that takes up the whole page. So let's just we're just rebuilding it over on the system side. All right. So that's what we're going to do today, is just get the main website, not all the backend stuff, just the main website, the home page set up on System. So let's jump on over here. We're going to go over and we're going to go ahead and just build this in the blog section. I do have a blog set up on Podia. Haven't been using it much, but I think I'm going to pull that over as well. But that being said, even if I wasn't, it just makes sense to build the site on the System.io blog these days. You don't necessarily have to, but the blog, you can have as many pages as you want, where if you build your website on the funnel side, you have a maximum of 15 steps. What that means is each step is a page. So you have a maximum of 15 pages, which might not be that big of a deal, but if you start adding products and adding checkouts and all that, you're going to use up those 15 pages pretty quick if you're also using it for your general website, right? So we'll go into websites, we'll go over to blogs, we'll click into blogs. We're going to do create, name the membership answer man. And here, I haven't connected my domain to System at this point. I do have videos on how to do that, and you can go check those out. I'll be sure to pop those videos up above, and you can go and check those out. But right now, the default URL that Podia is giving us is fine. And it's so easy to change, to just flip the switch when you do have your domain connected, that it's really not a big deal. Again, as far as templates go, it's not a big deal either for most people. If you want to use a template and keep kind of the template style, fine. But for me, I'm going to be blowing everything out anyway. So it's really not that big of a deal. I was using this one here though to begin with. Might not hurt just to go ahead and use that one. I was using that in another video. We're just going to click on save. And there we go. Now we're going to click into it. And these are all the different pages for the blog. And again, I can literally just go and click all these off. Doesn't really matter if they're active or not. And deactivate it, whatever. I'm not going to have any of these active anyway, and I am going to delete them all for the sake of this video. We won't worry about deleting them right now. We'll just leave it the way it is. But we want to go into pages, okay? And then we have our home page. And right now, the home page is using the blog layout. It's kind of a toss-up whether you want to use the blog layout or not. I think I'm going to not use the blog layout, and what that means is I will have my own header and navigation menu and my own footer rather than the blog layout has them built into it. It's really a toss-up, but I figure if I build the header with the navigation and get it all set up in the footer, I can save it as a master block, and then I can also pull that over to the funnel if I wanted to. So what we'll do is over here on the far right on the settings, the three dots, we're going to go ahead and click on those three dots, and we're going to go all the way down to don't use blog layout, and we're going to confirm. Now we're just going to click into it. Okay. And again, we don't have that header that we saw on the template, and that's because we're not using the blog layout. So what we're going to do, take a section, pop it at the top, and yeah, we want white, and we want a logo, and then we'll have like a login. I don't think Podia has a login, so we'll create one. We might even use a button. How that might be kind of cool, huh? Let's do something a little bit different. Make a login button, and what that is it would really just be a button that's taking people to their dashboard, their course dashboard. So let's go over here, and what we're going to do is, I think in this case we're going to do a 2-column layout. So we're going to grab our columns. Next thing I want to do also before I go too much further is this right now is a full page content width. And I'm not a fan of full page content width. And so we're going to click back into the section. And then right down here is the content width option. All right. And right now, as you can see, it's a full page. So we'll use the drop down. And we're going to say probably medium. I'm just a fan of medium, but and then here, we're going to collapse this editor menu and just see again how that looks. And I think that looks about fine. It's even actually lined up just like that. Pretty good. And then we're going to open up our panel again. I'm going to click into there. And what I want to do is my logo is going to go in. So we got to find an image. We'll scroll down, and in the media section here is image. We'll drag an image over. And then in the form section, we have a button. We'll grab the button. And I'm going to take my image, and I'm going to pull it all the way over to the left. I want that hugging the left. I'm going to take my click here button. It's going to be the login button. Click into that. I'm going to put this one all the way over to the right. Okay, cool. Now what we will do is we'll go and load up our logo. Images, we don't have anything, so we're going to upload. And over here, let me just get where I need to be. Copy, select file. And I'm pretty sure I want to use that guy there. Let's blow these up. I can't see what's going on. So we're going to do extra large. And yes, open that up. All right. And insert. And I don't really think I need it quite that big. Now let's collapse the editor panel just to see here. And it doesn't have to be exact, but I'd like to get it close. I want to make sure people can read it. Let's do 335 for now. Now what you're seeing also is it's a really big white navigation section here. Reason being, when you add a section in Podia, when you add a section in Systeme, it automatically adds padding all the way around. And if we go into the section, see here, 40. It's a lot of 40 is a lot. You know, you might not think so, but it's a lot. So if we click this one, it'll open up the option for us to get all individualized. We can click on the, let me show you. We can go and select top, right, bottom or left, or we can click on this one, and then whatever we changes it all, right? And I think I do want a little bit more breathing room on the top there. All right, now let's go over to our login button and definitely have some tweaking to do to it. We're not going to get too crazy with the button right now, but I can tell you right now we want something like login, and then subtext. We don't need subtext. And I do have a color picker here. What are we doing for buttons over here? We're using kind of a tan. I don't know what the tan will look like up here. Let's keep the tan just because we've got it going. I'm going to use this ColorZilla color picker, which is one of my Chrome plugins. And I can go and grab that just like that. And now it's copied it to the clipboard. So I'm going to go over here. Whoop, I was already in. Scroll down. Click on that. And I'm going to paste that in. And I'm going to add it to my colors. Okay. Text color. I think my text color I'm going to make dark on this. And then it does have a little border on the bottom. I don't mind the border for some reason today, but I don't think I want, let's use the ColorZilla color picker again. And let's just see if our nice dark green will look good on that border. Scroll down. And there's the text color. We got a hover effect on the text color. There's the border color. Paste that in. And I want to add that to my colors. Okay. Is there a way to make that text bold, I wonder? Font, login, font size, font type. It didn't not let me make it bold. That's okay though. I'm wondering if arrow. There we go. I am going to do something like that. Except I think I want it after. Login. Something like that. Okay, next thing I want to do, I want to add an animation so that when somebody's wanting to click it, they can tell that, hey, this button does something, and I like to add some animation to it. I'm going to add a little bit more corner rounding as well. Take this up to about 6. You can either use these arrow keys or you can highlight it and use your number pad. And then I'm going to go down here and we've got a hover effect. I'm going to do a float. And again, I'm going to do 5. And I'm going to save. Oh, that happens too. Click on it, click into it. I'm going to scroll all the way up. Again, you've probably seen this in my other videos, but when you have a form button, if you have it set to submit form, you're going to get an error when you go to save the page if you don't have up above form fields for name and email. It's confused. It's like you have a submit form, but there's no form. So what you have to do here, use this drop down, and eventually I'm just going to have it open up a URL. I'm not going to have it go to a login page or anything like that, or go to a, I'm not going to have it download any documents or anything like that. I'm going to eventually have it go to a URL. So we'll go ahead and click on Save Changes. Next thing I want to do also, though, there's a lot of space between the edges of the button and the text in the middle. And that's because the default button has like 90 padding on both sides right here, which again is a lot. I just think that makes just a really, really long, crazy button. But I think I like that. Save changes. All right. So we have our header with our little menu item, with our navigation menu, if you will. We don't really have necessarily a navigation menu. We could, if we wanted to, we could put that one, a navigation menu in here if we wanted to. but we're just recreating this. So next we're going to have our hero section. And again, I'm just going to add a whole nother section. And in here, we're going to do a background image. I'm going to upload my bridge. Pretty sure I've got my bridge right there. And we'll insert it. Okay, now after inserting it, you can tell that it's getting kind of cut off, and that's because there's some magic you got to kind of do. Not that I say magic, there's some formatting we got to do this section here. So we're going to go into the section. Probably since I'm not really doing, yeah, I am doing some stuff with it. We're going to go down here where it says display image. Right now it says default. We're going to try full center fixed and just see what that looks like. That looks good. Going to go back into our panel. And the other thing I want to see is I want to see if there's any kind of like a background color or inner background color. Let's just see if we can do something like that. That's fine. I was looking for the option to, what's the word I'm looking for? Change the transparency on this, because it's going to be a little bright. This one here, Podia, has some transparency configuration settings that allow you to make this so that it's not so bright. System doesn't have that, evidently. I thought they did. So one option would be we pull this into Canva and clean it up there and then pull it back in. I'm not really too stressed about this right now, but let's just leave it at that. And then while we're here, again, this is that full page. We're going to make this medium. Now we're going to go back to our site and we're going to click on this whole thing here. And then we're going to go up here, click into our section. We want a headline text, pop that in, paste that in. Looks like, yeah, what we're going to want to do is go to our settings. We're going to change our font settings so that everything's kind of dialed in with the correct font. Right now, it says default font. We're just going to do Google Fonts, and then we're going to do, yeah, let's just go with Roboto. No, I kind of like Railway. I'm pretty sure Railway is what I'm using over there. And same thing here. That's fine. And then still can't see it much, which is understandable. Let's go ahead and click on Save Changes. I'm going to click in. And now what we'll do is we're going to change this to white. See, that's part of the reason right here that I made this image more transparent and gave kind of a tint because you can't really see, even the white, you can't really see. Let's bold this. And yeah, let's go back in. So let's leave that the way it is right now. We're going to fix this so that this image isn't so bright. And again, you want to make sure people can read what's going on. But we'll do that after. We're going to add some text down here. Paste that in. Again, change it to white. I don't know. Yep, and then we got another button down here. One really nice thing about System when you're creating stuff and putting elements into your design is there's a lot more what's the word I'm looking for, ability to configure things the way you want them, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. If I put in this button right here below that, okay, and we're going to make the button, I'm going to match it to this one up here. Go up here, background color, boom, and we're going to keep things consistent. 6, 666. I'm going to go all the way down here, text color, and then we'll go all the way down here. That was green. Okay, and then we're going to go to our float option, hover effect, float, 5. Oh, our text, there we go. It's the hover text is what it is. Okay, let's go back up, click on the button. Didn't really do anything with the text, but actually that looks kind of cool. I might go back up and do that up there. So we have submit form. We're going to say open URL so it doesn't have any issues when we go to save it. We're going to do here. This is going to be click here to join our join the select community. And that is going to be right here. I'm going to just say community on this. Subtext is going away. And then I'm looking for the text color. Text color is right there. Okay. And again, we don't have any icons in this, but I definitely think I want to have the icon at the end as well. You know what? Let's do the arrow. This time we're going to have it before. Okay, and then again, I want to go in, and I don't really think I need all that padding. Take it down. I usually take it about 25. Okay. All right. So if you notice over here, I've expanded things so that there's a little bit more breathing room between the header text and the button. Now in Podia, you have to go in and you have to do carriage returns to move that button down. It's really kind of a wonky way of doing your setup the way you want to get it set up. In this case, what we do is we go into our button, and in this case, we're just going to say, we're going to play with the margin. Okay, again, margin. If you're watching my videos, I'm probably a broken record. It's a space between elements. So we want to increase the space between the button and the text. All right, and so that's margin. All right, so we'll just do this just like that. All right, now you can tell that which is interesting also, the background is moving with it. So we got to go back into here, and that's because we got it full center fixed. So what we want to do is fill width 100 and pop that in the middle. Look at that, just like that. I don't think we need to do anything else. Let's just collapse this and make sure. Yeah. Again, that's looking pretty good. I might actually add, let's go ahead and add a little bit more margin. Right now we got 200. Now notice how it just stopped at 200 on our slider. That's okay. You can use the arrows and add more. Okay. So let's not leave it at 289. Let's leave it at 290. Okay. Now again, this image is definitely too bright. All right, so let's go back over here. We're going to click on upload. We're going to click on select a file. We're going to go right here. Shouldn't have any problem uploading that bad boy. There it is. And we're going to insert it. And see how that kind of popped a little bit more. Still not really sure if I like that, but it's not terrible. It's definitely not terrible. This seems a little darker. So we could play with that, but right now I'm going to just let that go. And I'm not really a huge fan of this, but we're going to keep rolling. All right. Save changes. So our next section is what are other people saying? Okay. So we'll go in here, open up our panel here. Doesn't really matter. You know what? I'm deleting all this. It's just annoying. I'm not going to use it. Don't need it. Taking it all out. Let's get our other section in here now. Again, we're going to match the width to medium. All right. And then we're going to throw in a headline text element. And then if we go over here and look, we're going to have, looks like we got 2 columns. What I did here is I threw some buttons in so that when we're on mobile, to make sure that it's got the button. I don't think I'm going to do the button as much on the next one. But what we've got here are my testimonials. And we're just looking at 2 columns here. So we're going to throw in, let's make sure that that's centered. All right. Go back. Copy. Paste. Going to make this bold. Kick that up. Something like that. And then what we want to do is 2 columns. And put that right underneath. And then we can literally just go in here and copy all this in. Okay. So it looks like it's not letting me copy everything like that, which is fine. So let's just grab this, copy. And then what we're going to do is, I wonder if they've got like a little testimonial things. You could play around if you didn't want to recreate this. And if we weren't really recreating this whole thing here, you could go up here to blocks. And they have built-in blocks for stuff. Really kind of nice. And you could do testimonials. And here, let me grab this, open this up, and you could literally just go in here and grab any of these to pop in here. And you know what? Let's get fancy. I made things really, really simple here. And I think, don't know what these are going to look like, but let's just go and look real quick. I want something simple. I don't think I want like colors and stuff and pictures. And I don't have pictures of the people that left me testimonials in there. So we don't necessarily, we could take the pictures out. These are just kind of what I'm looking for. Let's pop this in here just to see. So you can literally take these out. Boom. Whoop. Boom. And boom. How do you like that for sound effects? All right. And it's interesting. I got some white in here. I don't know what happened. Let's do this. It covered up the other one. It almost looks like it almost looks like there is some padding or margin in here that's kind of taking effect. Let's go in here and change this background color to white. And then we'll obviously need to go in here and change this up. Actually, you know what? We're making this all different. That's okay though. We can make it different. Let's try. And then we're going to take this out. And then I don't know. What are all of my colors here? Got some greens and stuff. We could try one of our greens. Grab this one here. I kind of like that green. I don't know if I've got it already or not. And then we go into here, right here. This is a row. And that row has some color in it. Right here, background color. I'm going to paste that in, pop it in there. It's still got, I wonder if it's in this section here, padding, bottom. definitely want some bottom and what's the word I'm looking for? Top padding. Left is 40. Pop that out, and then bottom 25. It's really, really interesting that, let's just do a view, that we have, see, we got a little bit of floating animation there. Let's click into the section. He's got a margin, top margin. That would be what's going on. Take that out just like that. Save. They talk about us. What they are saying. Let's do this. What they are saying. All right. And rather than taking that out, I'm just going to delete it. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking into it, cancel, click into it, delete it. Okay, boom. And then we could do something like, we could either make these different colors if we wanted to. I think rather than getting too crazy, I'm going to make it the same color all the way across. Okay. So go back over here, copy, go back over, and we'll do a Control V, and then pop this in, go back over here. And I think since we've got the green, I'm wondering what white will look like here. Let's just go and look real quick. We've got text color over here, or do we? Text background color. It's just taking the font and everything over, it looks like, from the colors from the settings. So let's just go up here and just see real quick, what does it look like if it's white? Kind of a toss-up, actually. And then got a little horizontal line in here, it looks like. There it is, solid. And I don't think I like blue. And then what we've got here is her website. Paste, and then do I have a link in there already? Again, we're going to change the color to there. And yep, it pulled in the link to her site. That's awesome. Save changes. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Save changes, and then let's do a preview real quick. Get out of that. And that's what it's looking like. Now the question is going to be, I'm also super OCD about boxes being the same size. I wouldn't want this to stay this size. And I don't think, I'm also not a real big fan of having things center justified. Some people are, I'm not. I'm going to take this over and just take a peek and see what it looks like when it's left justified. I kind of like that better. I do like it better. All right, so we're going to do the same thing here. Copy, go back over here, paste, and notice what we've got going on here is the box now got to be a different size. So there's a couple of ways that we can kind of change this. We could go into this box and we could add some more bottom padding like that, which is an option. Or we could do Podia style and put some spaces in. But right now, I think we're just going to do that. And then we'll go over here, grab Peggy's name, and pop Peggy name in here. Again, we want to go into this row, okay? And come on, there we go. We want to go and look for the color, background color. There it is. Change it and change everything to white. Put that over to left justified, white. And then let's see if we can get into that line. Change the color there. And then Peggy, I'm pretty sure, yep. Copy that. Paste. White. Come on. White. There we go. Now, I could redo this, but what's going on here, let's see what we got. Watch this. I'm going to take this out. Do yes. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to drag it right up in here. Boom. That way I don't have to like rechange all the colors and everything. Okay, so now we go back. And did we do 3? We did 3. They gave us 3 instead of 2, which is fine. Now let me double check and just see why I did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could make this 2 and then, but I'm not sure that I like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think I want it quite as wide. There's just a lot of content here. And rather than having this big old wide section there, I am going to use 3. And when I say wide, I'm talking about height-wise. I'm going to do 3. But I'm going to do something a little bit different with this also. I'm going to throw in another one here. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a custom code snippet that I've got in our Zero to Income toolbox. And I'm going to put the other ones in there as scrolling testimonials. Yeah, going to put them in there, scrolling testimonials. And I'm actually going to add, I'm going to get a little bit more fancy here with these as well. And while we're doing this, let's click on save again. We want to go into our mobile side and just make sure that the mobile side is looking okay. And as usual, I don't like the fill width on this to be, what's what I'm looking for? Fill width. It just makes it a really, really, really big button. And I don't like a really, really big button like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do fluid. And then for padding, right down here, I'm just going to add a little bit more padding. Something like that. Okay. Same thing here. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do fluid. And then I think what I'm going to do is scroll all the way down to our padding. It's interesting that it's at 5. Evidently, the font size here is too big. So we'll go into the button. And again, what we're looking at here on the mobile side, you'll see that there's a mobile icon. And what that mobile icon means is that any changes that you make here aren't going to affect the desktop. This is only affecting the mobile view. Okay. So everything that we're doing so far in here, it's only affecting the mobile view. Now, it still kind of took away, what's what I'm looking for? Not a whole lot of space between the edges here. And I think I'm going to take that down a little bit. It's getting kind of small, but we're going to do that. I think I'm going to increase the line height on this. And that's going to add a little bit of breathing room on the button itself. And then what we'll do is we're going down here and we'll see what happens when we add some padding. Okay, I'm liking that. A little bit more padding on the edges, okay, on the left and right side. Rounded corners. I'm surprised that it's saying 0 because there's some rounded corners on here. And then can I control how much space there is between the icon and the text? And it doesn't look like I can, which is okay. Save changes. Okay. Now, what others are saying, this little section here, okay, I'm okay with that. But this is a bit big. I'm almost wondering, do I want to put that all on one side, all on one line? And then same thing here. I don't think I need that quite so big. And I think I want to do something like that. And then I really want to kind of hug that heading a little bit more with this. So what I'm going to do is scroll down. They don't have any margin, so nothing's going on with the margin there, which tells me all the space that's going on between this image of the swirl thing and the text is being controlled by the text. And we have a bottom of 10. Not a lot, though. So it tells me that the image itself has quite a bit of space in the actual image, which is fine. That right there, I think, looks good. All right. So we're going to save changes. So again, when you're designing stuff, make sure that you're looking at mobile frequently. Don't let mobile be an afterthought, because then you're going to have just a ton of work. Just as you're working, do what I'm doing right here, and go back and forth between mobile and desktop and keep things kind of tweaked and do your settings. Okay, do your changes, do your tweaking, so that you can get everything dialed in while you're working on stuff. And again, I think I want to have more space between the logo here and the login button. So we're going to click on that login button. Right now, it's got a top margin of 5. I think I'm going to do 15, maybe even 20. Let's try 20. And bottom has got 5. I don't think I need any. I think that looks fine right there. I'm going to save. Same thing here. I think that we got everything's just really, really, what's what I'm looking for. It's really, really close and scrunched in together here. So we're going to click on this. We're going to do a bottom margin, probably of 10. And then same thing here. Bottom margin. Just going to highlight the whole thing and type in 10. I'm actually thinking I want more room between the text and the button. That might even be something like 25. Yeah. And then button, bottom, 10. That works. Save. Okay, now we're going to go on back to our desktop. All right. What other people are saying. I don't think I'm going to put all of these in here. Yeah, let's play around with it and just see. We got the next one here that we're going to pop in. Paste. Highlight it all, make it white. There we go. I'm going to get out of that, go back. Amy. And paste. White. And then the other thing that I was doing, again, I think I want these boxes. They made their boxes, pretty plain. So we got this. She didn't have her site on there at this point, which is fine. Whoop, come on. Paste and make it white. Okay. All right, let us do this now. Pop this in, and we want padding bottom. Sure. Same thing here. Probably going to be different on this one. We'll see. 150. I think we're going to go ahead and just make it something like that, even though, and same thing here. What I'm doing here is just getting these to kind of line up, if you will. We could use CSS, and I'm not a CSS whiz by any means. What I would do is, let's save it and just take a quick peek, is I would go into ChatGPT and say, hey, I want all these rows to be the same height. How do we do that? Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to click into this, and I'm going to also see, do we have any? We do. Right now it says soft shadow. I want a hard shadow. I want to see this shadow. Okay. Again, CSS would give us the ability to make that shadow wider. The built-in system settings, you just have to kind of live with what it gives you. But again, for sake of getting things done and keeping things simple, we're just going to use systems built-in features here. And go in here and hard shadow. Now, if I was smart, I would have done this before. So when I copied and pasted in, I could have just copied and pasted the then in after I got all the formatting done. And then soft shadow, make that hard shadow. We could play around and see what the far shadow does. Yeah, it's just the far shadow is just on the bottom, and I'm not a fan of it just being on the bottom. I like it to go around the right edges and everything. So going to scroll back down and just do again this hard shadow. Now, I could just keep it at this and call that good. And I think I will for this. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Now, if we wanted to add another 3, here's how we would do it. We'd click into this, and right in here, see how it's got all 3 rows here? We would duplicate it. Boom. And see? Now we could do another 3. I don't like that though. I think it's just it's adding a lot of content onto the site. And we could do a again a auto scrolling testimonial here, and I might do that. But right now, we're just going to keep it at 3 testimonials. If we wanted to, we could have a testimonials page and have like a little button that says click here for more testimonials, or click for more. We're just going to call this good. And so we have our next section. Let's just jump into the next section here. This is where they can sign up for the free resources. All right. So we go on back and we go in here, and we're going to add another section. All right. This section actually has just kind of a design behind it. So let's go back in here. Insert. And then what I'm going to do is fill width. It's kind of fuzzy. I'm not sure if I like how fuzzy that is. So yeah, we're trying to get fancy with stuff. It's not this. It's still kind of fuzzy over here too on the live site. So it's not like a complete. What's the word I'm looking for? A terrible thing, but I'm gonna make my page, my section width, content width to be medium again. And then we'll go over here and we're going to have a 2 column row, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we could, if we wanted to, pull something in from a block, right, that they provide for a free lead magnet. But in this case, I think we're just going to, again, design this kind of on our own on the fly here. So let's go back over here, take that out, and we're going to grab 2 columns here, pop them in. Okay, we're going to grab an image there, and I should have an image. It's remembering downloads again in my folder. There it is. Insert. Beautiful. And we go on back. And so we got a little bit of heading text over here. Boom. Then we're going to have, let's just get over ahead. Then we're going to have some regular text. Come on. Underneath that. And then we'll have, I keep going over that. I'm going to prop this over on the other side. Name, email, and a button. So we got form input. Boom. Those are side by side. I think I'm going to make them stacked just as I go and do this on the flow. Right below. See again the blue line going across the bottom. That's letting me know where this is going to drop. So right now it's going to drop it below. If I go up here, it's letting me know it's going to drop it above. So we want it to go below. And then again, we're going to grab a button. And rather than recreating the wheel here, which reminds me, I need to put a button down here. We're going to do, yeah, we can do it here. That's fine. We're going to grab this button. We're going to copy it. What happened here? Oh, I know what's going on. We're going to drag it all the way down. Come on. And we're going to drag it again right below there. And what's happening is it's remembering all of the margin. So something like that. All right, so what we want here, up here I've got name and email. That works, I think, except we're going to do one more button. I like getting first and last name. If possible, first and last name. That's the contacts, what's it we're looking for? The contacts area in Systeme.io has specific fields for first name, last name, email, etc. So rather than just using name, I like having grabbing the actual first name and last name and then email address. So rather than going and looking for the form input, I'm just going to copy this. Okay, now we're going to go into the first one. Input type is going to be first name. That's fine. Second one, again, input type is going to be last name. And then here, input type is going to be email. Okay. And I'm not sure, still not sure about this background here, but that's okay. Save changes. And then in this case here, it's not to get join the community. This is to get the free guide. Get it now. So we'll click here, go into get it now. Okay. And let's scroll up. This is going to be actually nope. We're just going to do a submit form. And then right now I'm just going to say no redirection, but we'll have a thank you page at some point. So when they click on it, it'll be emailed to them. Okay. So copy all this, go back over here, paste that all in, and make it all white. Don't think I need it underlined. And I'm almost thinking here, in this case, that's okay. Let's go back over here. And even here, I think that the dark, I still think white is more readable, more legible. Paste. Let's just see though. White. And the other thing I'm going to do, something like that. Do I want to make it? Yep. Same thing. I did have it left justified. Okay. We could do a text background color and see what happens. I don't think so. Take it away. What happens if we make this dark? See, it's just not quite readable or as legible on this particular background. But at the same time, it'd be nice to have it a little different than the top. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, that's good. I'm being a little OCD here, but that's okay. Okay. So there we go. We got our resource guide. First name, last name. Get it now. That'll work perfect, actually. So we'll save changes. And then what do we want to do next? Just a footer. So we'll go in here. And again, I don't have a lot of stuff in the footer, what Donald Miller referred to as a junk drawer. I kept this particular site pretty simple. So we will go and create our footer. Again, we have another section that we want to put in here. Let's scroll down. Oh, it added already. And the background color of this footer is the background color that we had up here, which is fine. And then this actually is kind of a 2 columns here. So we'll go ahead and again go into here, go into our section, make it wide. Content width, actually making it medium. Okay. And then 2 columns. Okay. Wow, what did I do here? That's interesting. If you have any questions or want to say hi, my email is, and then I have this little thing here. I think I was trying to probably get a little creative. I have a little icon here. And this icon's probably pretty good, a good idea. I've not worried about it too much, but if people are scraping your site and trying to grab your email address, I haven't had too much of an issue with that, but you could just say, if you have any questions or want to say hi, shoot me an email and then have the little email icon here. So let's just grab that and throw some text in here. Paste, comma, shoot me an email. Okay. Let's just play with that and see if that image can I copy email address, open link. I was looking to see if I could get that email. Little email icon. I'm going to just take this out. And then what we're going to do is pop this in. I don't know if we need that bold. It is bold. I'm just wondering, it looked like it was too bold. The other thing that we can do here is make this a little bit wider. Let's see what it looks like on just a one column row. One row, and then take this in, bop it in there like that, right? It's going to delete this, 2 columns. And then I think what we'll do is add a whole nother text line. The reason being, it allows me a little bit more control. Whoop. See how it, what's I'm looking for? Take that out, take that out. See how I'm able to decorate this? And it's because there's this different text fields, okay? So one text field here and another text field here. Paste. And I obviously need to change that color to something like that. Looks like it kept the link right here, which is good. Save. And the other thing we can do, and I can also change a bit of the margin top. Let's just give it 10. Yeah. All right. Gonna do the same thing here. Add another one right below that. Again, that. Terms of service, privacy policy. Terms of service. I wonder if it's terms of service or services. It's just terms of service. We'll put a little spacer in here. Privacy policy. And let's do copyright. Membership 2024. The membership. Answer. Man. Okay. Again, way too much, too close there. Again, probably just going to do 10. Okay, save. And actually, it's still way too close, I think, to all this. And I also have, there's just, it's a big section. It doesn't need to be. So what I'm going to do here, I want actually more space between that because it definitely needs to be. Let's do 30. Then what I want to do is go into this section, and it's going to, yeah, all kinds of padding in this section. Just going to take it down to 0. Could probably do some margin. Will that do that? Yeah, no, we don't want margin. We want padding. Let's do 15. And just take a look at that. And just a little bit more, I think, padding on the bottom as well. I took it all the way down to 0, but and I do think we don't need font to be quite that size. Line height, take it down just a little bit. And I do think that I still want more space between the top of all the terms of service, privacy policy, what have you there. Save changes. All right. Now I told you to keep checking mobile. What have we not been doing? We haven't been checking mobile. What's up with that? All right, let's just go. Let's go just double check everything. That looks fine. This is looking fine. I'm not like looking at that going, oh my gosh, that's awful. That works. That works. We've got some testimonials in there. That works. I think we need a little bit more breathing room here on the bottom of this one. So we got margin bottom and nothing there. So what do we have here on the margin? There it is. There. It wasn't showing me. Yeah. Let's just dial and click into that one more time. Why is it not? Click into that one more time. Nope. Click into that one more time. Yep. Come on. There we go. 32. I think we just need 25. Okay, let's just go and take a look. Yeah. Same thing here on this image. A little bit more margin on top. We're going to do, yeah, 10. I like that. Ooh, what happened here? What happened here? What's going on? Good thing I was checking it all out, huh? So here's what's going on. It's stacking everything here on mobile, okay? And this image that we put in on the main site isn't a tall image, okay? And so it's cutting it off. Now, one of the things that we could do, we go in this section and it's supposed to be there. Let's go back to desktop, go into our section. Come on, section. And we could do fill width and height, okay? And save. And then we could go back and go into mobile and just see if that doesn't change things. It did. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm not liking, though, the white on this side. Let's go to desktop. See, this looks all right. That looks all right. But boy, on mobile, I'm not liking the white here. So a couple things that we need to do. Number one, got to highlight all this, and we got to give it some space on top. Definitely got to give it some margin. And pop in some margin, about 15. Bottom as well, 15, bottom, 15. And then we're going to try and just do yeah, I'm kind of liking the dark on mobile. There we go. So that's looking, I think that looks better on mobile. Now the question is, when we go and edit this on mobile, will it affect the desktop? Sometimes it does. So if we go over, it is. And we're just going to have to live with it. Because we can't, now we don't necessarily have to live with it. There's more than one way of skinning this cat. We could create two different sections and have one be visible on mobile and hidden from desktop. And then the other one would be visible on desktop and hidden from mobile. In this case, this is not terrible. So going and getting really, really tricky with the multiple sections and hiding from desktop and hiding from mobile, I don't think it's really, really necessary. Again, there comes a time where it's like, hey, it's good enough. And for me, when I'm looking at this, that looks all right. What I don't like is we need still a little bit more margin between the text and the form buttons. Bottom, grab in, again, we're going to go 15. Definitely need some margin between the button and the form buttons. Sure, let's just go with 15. And then the bottom, we have 10. Almost seems like it's too much. Click on save. And then right here, look at this. It's just all crunched up. So can we clean that up a little bit? Add some bottom margin of 10. Same thing here. Bottom margin probably of 20. Here, can also do some bottom. I want to see if I can. Nope. Is there some padding? I'm not liking the way this powered by Systeme.io is just sitting there covering everything up. And I don't know if that'll show up on the actual phone on a live view or not. But we definitely need to see if we can't. This is all the same line. And then line height, something like that. I'm okay with that. Okay. So there is our main website. We've still got some things to do with login buttons. We still have some things to do as far as going to checkout pages, but we'll do that on the next video. But it's not exact. We go over here. I do kind of like, I think this image better. I think the white pops a lot more. And so I'll probably play with Canva and get that image to be more like this. And then I am kind of thinking, let me pop that down. I might play with this a little bit more in Canva as well. There are some other filters to play with, or I'll pull it into Photoshop. But for the most part, we've taken the Podia website, pulled it over to Systeme.io. Obviously, again, there's a lot of little things that we'll be doing in the back end on the next handful of videos that we do. But we've got that kind of squared away as far as the kind of home page is set. All right. So if you're digging these videos, we got a whole playlist of Systeme.io videos. Go check them out. Thanks for watching.